He was a very tall man, he was a very imposing figure, 6'5.5", it's tall, and with an incredible sort of aristocratic air. And he was not at all knobby in the sense that he was off-putting, but he had great command. I think he came from a family that had doctors, but there were a lot of military people in the background too. And he looked very much like a general in an army. He had a very big hooked nose, he kept his hair extremely short and a little moustache. If you put a uniform on him, you would have said he probably was running the 8th Army or something like that.
And he was, to all the actors, about one step higher than a god.
With Guthrie, it was very much Guthrie style, and that was pizzazz and an interpretation of Shakespeare that was unique and filled with theatricality. Brilliant director, Guthrie, and a brilliant mind.
Vastly entertaining. Hugely great fun to work for, you know. It really was an entertainment all the time. Strict, hard work, but great fun. Always wit flying here and there. I mean, there are endless stories told about the things he would say, which I don't repeat now because I can't say them the way he did, and they're not nearly so funny as the way he handled the language, which was quite extraordinary.
I was doing Ague Cheek for him at Twelfth Night, and one day I was late because I was, let's face it, I was hungover. I was late for rehearsal, and when I got there, the entire company was seated there with not a word. They just stared at me as I walked in. And this amazing tall eagle of a man was standing there, absolutely impassive, staring at me with those fierce sort of vulture eyes. And he said, "What would you like for breakfast? Because we're all going to sit down and watch you eat it." It was diabolical. And you know, I was, what, 26? God, I could have shot myself.
He was kind of like a naughty little boy, even though he was 6'6". He had no respect for kind of the stuffiness. I remember once he said, we were rehearsing All's Well That Ends Well, and he just said, we had the local choir from the Presbyterian Church were extras, and there was a kind of a party scene. And we were supposed to be celebrating the fact that Alec Guinness, as the king, had recovered from his illness, and it was going to be a party. And Guthrie tore down from the back of the theater and said, "Why do you have to be so fucking Ontario?" There was a great pause because we all looked at the choir, and they had never been spoken to that way before. But 3 of the women were still smiling because they had never heard that particular 4-letter word before.
He always wore bedroom slippers, sort of fuzzy little, funny little bedroom slippers and so on, no matter where he was, and big suspenders and no jacket and so on. And there are people in the theater, people coming in the theater and everything. He's on a ladder showing now, "Here, my darlings, this is how you put it up," and he's nailing things on the front of the proscenium with the stage hands. Well, of course, it's unheard of. You can't do that. And he only got away with it because of his enormous personality and charm and guile. He just go for it.
A lot of insecure directors, which is like 85%, want to show off their knowledge, put their stamp. A really great director is so confident that he just wants to bring the best out of you and recognizes what is the best in you when you don't know it yourself. Tony was one of those.